how's it going, Virgo community? Soul Tigers here with a special story for this wonderful frequency. So before we dive into the story, first off, I want to say thank you for your patience as I had to extend my leave another month due to some medical stuff. So let's go ahead and get started. So first things first, I hear these song lyrics as I am dialing into your frequency. Don't stop believing. Hold on to those dreams. You are dreaming. During life, Virgo, our story can have many twists, changes that will take us into directions we've never imagined, with still encompassing the things that we are passionate about. Let's look at the very root to your dreams. What is at the core of the inspiration? The passion that drives you, dear Virgo. What you will find is if you are able to adapt to the changing route on your path, that the core things that you created or that was created within you is still there. It is still there. It just may look a little different. Now, what this means is then right away as I was dialing in, I needed to give you an example to this vibe that I'm feeling. So definitely there's a change that's happening and it's kind of throwing everything off. These are unexpected changes that are coming about, and it may feel like everything that you were dreaming is being demolished because something isn't aligning right. But the future holds that you will still have the things that you are passionate about, the original inspirations there, and you will be able to exercise that in whatever you're doing, but it's going to look a little different. So there is something like that is coming about for you, Virgo. So let's go ahead and let's be able to adapt to something. All right, so let's go ahead and continue. Something you don't see is the movement that's happening, or the fact that you may be moving into a different direction when it comes to what you are working towards with your dreams. A new exercise program is needed, a different way to spread your wings, to spread your philosophies. It could be, I'm hearing to say, to spread what it is that you are working hard for, but again, it's gonna be something new. Sentimental feelings. Sometimes it's hard to let go of one thing that we thought that we were supposed to be working so hard towards, to work towards another thing. Something else that we have here is realizations and epiphanies. So there's something here that you've also been realizing, something that's come in directly through the many different communications that you're having with others. Now we have healing the past. There's something here about the past. What I'm hearing is that maybe somebody had forecasted that you were going to fail at this, or maybe somebody forecasted that this wasn't a good fit for you, and you're doing everything to try and prove them wrong. Well, the whole thing is, it isn't that they're right, it isn't that they're wrong, it's just that things are going in a direction that wasn't foreseen. So right now, something that you're not seeing is that you're overworked. You're overworked and you're drained out by going through your mind and over analyzing the situation, over analyzing how to find ways to keep going at the same trajectory. What I'm being given is an image of a mountain that's covered with snow. If you knew that anything could set off an avalanche, would you continue trekking up this mountain in the same route? Or would you stop and start to plan out to do something different? start to go a different way to make it to the mark where you need to be, kind of thing. And sometimes we need to reroute ourselves, and that's okay. I like this card because I seen this when I was cleansing. You need to know this, Virgo. You need to understand this. I'm hearing that you should possibly even write this down and put it somewhere where you can see it on a daily, is that you are stronger than what you know. Detours are never fun. Depending on the detour, it could definitely frustrate us. It can make us question a lot of things, especially why we're working so hard for things. And if the things that we worked hard for and it all comes to an end, are we failures? Virgo, I had heard something long time ago stating that we will change our career, or people, humans, will change their career 3 times throughout their lifetime. And this is plausible. It's definitely plausible. I know at the age that I am, I've changed my career already 2 times. And there is speculation of wanting to change my career again, thinking about it, but not too sure just yet. I really love my career that I'm in right now, and I loved my previous career. My previous career was working in daycare, being an early childhood educator, helping out people. Now that I'm a massage therapist, I'm still helping out people, but I'm helping out, so to say, the big kids instead of the wee little ones. I'm helping out the adults. So this is a way that things could be changing for you. The thing is, and you're at odds ends with, is the decisions that you have to make. And the thing is you have to be true to you. You have to be honest with yourself if it's not working out anymore. If you need to do something different, and you could be facing a little burnout from where you're at. I know that tends to happen. And when burnout tends to happen, it's either you find a way to reignite your passions, or you find a way to move forward doing something different, or you stay in the trenches and you let yourself burn out. And what happens when you stay in the trenches, then it starts to take a toll on your health. Think about the many different people that you've seen in your life who didn't do anything and they stood in them trenches, and look at how it started to decay their health and stuff like that. So keep that in mind. Maybe going and volunteering for something that you've been thinking about. Maybe that new pathway. Maybe, just maybe, something that you've been curious about, something that aligns with whatever ideas you've been having in your mind. And something that we are confused on is the spiritual growth that can happen when we make the moves that we need to make. Again, a lot of times when things aren't working out to the expectations that we think that they should work out, we become hard on ourselves and we call ourselves failures for not sticking it out for 20 plus years. But the whole thing is, burnouts happen. Things happen like that so that it can help redirect you to where you are meant to be. I was meant to be in childcare for so many years, to work with the children that I was meant to work with, just like I was meant to evolve from that and go into working with now the adults, the ones who would bring in the children and stuff. So let's go ahead and continue. I'm like trying to figure out what my hair is going to do. I have these bangs and stuff like that. So you see me kind of swishing away at it. That's what I'm doing. All right, so let's go into this present moment. Oh shoot, stuff's coming out right away. So let's continue. Whatever it is, when you start being honest with yourself, you're going to find a new energy about things. I definitely feel a little giddy. I feel a bit of enthusiasm when I start to think about the potential of volunteering for things that, Virgo could be thinking about. So definitely don't shy away from the volunteering. Volunteering is really good because you're not making quite a big investment yet. All you're doing is kind of like scoping things out. And that is totally fine to scope some things out. So right here, one thing that really is weighing heavy on you when it comes to you feeling like the failures, it comes to the emotions of things. I'm feeling like you worked really, really, really hard. You tried to work at it from all kinds of different views, especially a lot of reflecting on what you're doing, reflecting on the foundations, the people around you that it will affect. But the thing is what's happening around you is kind of crumbling. And this is why this action is coming in. This is why you can't sit in this one spot. This is why it's time, to really think about, do you watch how this all crumbles on top of you? Or do you actually get up and take the trip, make the movement that you need to make? And this is a hard choice because it looks like this is something that you're going to have to follow your intuition on when it comes to spreading your wings. This is something that you're going to have to sit with yourself and look at that bigger picture when it comes to the choices that you're making. I feel like also volunteering, whatever it is something that's going to help you figure out which way to lean towards. It may be something that you resonate with. It may be something that you don't resonate with, whatever it is. So let's keep diving. Knight of Swords. Definitely really hard in the mind. You're really hard in the mind because of so much that you've learned now. It may feel like everything that you've learned has been a waste. That's what I'm getting. And this is something that really pulls at you. You have this King of Swords, you have this Knight of Swords, but then you have this Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune is our optimism right here. And right now you're not holding a lot of optimism because you're really, really stuck in the mind. You're really stuck on the investments that you've made to be in this place and all the things that you've sacrificed to be here. I feel like this is something that really weighs heavily in. But this is also the things that make you irritable at the same time because you're looking at everything as if you have failed. You have failed. And it's all just reflecting on yourself, by yourself, with yourself. A lot of it's being reflected onto you, how maybe you could have made different choices that would have maybe prevented everything coming to a stalemate at this time. But the whole thing is you keep going back and forth into the old times saying, I should have did this. I should have moved a little bit differently. I should have seen the bigger picture to things, the bigger things that were there that led up to this point. But the thing is, you could only see what you could see back then. You weren't as evolved as what you are now, and that took work, that took different ideas, that took different failures, that took different things feeding your passions throughout this lifetime. And it's okay. It's okay to have all these emotions rocking you, because at times when you're going through so much, sometimes you get pushed into a place where you have to create that movement. I just did Capricorn story not too long ago, literally not too long ago. And the whole thing is, in their vibe, they're being thrown a curveball where they don't have a choice in things. And that it wasn't the divine punishing them, it's the divine getting just as stubborn as Capricorn. So what I have here, it isn't that you're being thrown a curveball, but you're being given a situation that's either gonna help you progress to where you're meant to go on this journey, or if you take it with the bad side of the ego, you're gonna fight it and you're gonna try and stay stubborn, and you're gonna be like, what was that creature off of Ice Age with the Great Flood, where they're trying to get their grandpa out the hole, and he's like, no, I was born in this hole, I'm gonna stay in this hole, blah 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 blah, and there's a big flood coming, and this person doesn't care, they're so stubborn. Or this animal on this fictional movie character, whatever, Anyways, that's kind of like this. And like I said, this is something that could end up being tied to your health and taking away that vitality and stuff like that. So be careful, be careful, be careful. Because right here, you don't feel like you've been putting things together in the utmost type of energy. But the Sun card is here. You've remained very loyal to that higher up energy, those higher up beliefs, the things that had inspired you, even though you don't see it when you're looking at the reflection of things. Oh my goodness. It's okay. It is okay to be scared a little. It's okay to experience these emotions that come with uncertainty, Virgo. It is, because you know what's crazy is in those moments, for myself, I feel the most alive. I don't feel as alive in the mundane routine of things where everything's kind of perfect. You know, these things that upheaval my emotions and make me feel things to the extreme is where I feel the most alive. And when I reflect back, it's these kind of memories that I look back that created really big changes in my life. So keep that in mind. There's two sides of the coin. One is, yeah, it sucks, but the other side is on that lighter side, is things are going to come towards you just as you're going to go towards it, Virgo. So let's keep going. I'm hearing to say thank you, thank you, thank you, ancestors and spirit guides, for those messages. So let's call in our angels of protection. Angels, angels, angels of protection. What is it that needs to come out? What is it that needs to be expressed? Also, angels of protection, I ask that you help keep us safe and protected as we navigate Virgo's shadow side. And I'm hearing that's it. That's very interesting. Your Queen of Cups comes out 2 times. And I seen this Queen of Cups when I was cleansing these cards out. I don't know who this is. I don't know if this is a family member. I don't know if this person was originally somebody who inspired you. But there is somebody that is in the midst of your company somehow that is weighing really heavily on your mind. What I'm hearing is there's a sense of you not wanting to abandon them. And if you were to go off into a different direction, they can't come with you. And it has to do with something that's out of your control. And it feels like you're going to lose everything. I don't know. It almost feels like there is some kind of like scam, some Ponzi scheme that happened or something that you got involved in. There's something here where the foundations are literally crumbling and you have no control over it. And there is also somebody here that you really care about and you don't know how to help them. And this is where you get very, very irritable. Very irritable because you're trying to think about others. And if you leave, you're going to leave these others out in the cold. No warmth. You're not there to help them anymore because of you walked away and you said goodbye. There's definitely illusions around the relationships around you, I feel like, because that 7 of Cups lands on the 4 of Wands, on the Temperance, as well as those 8 of Cups too. So you're afraid to walk away because you're afraid of how it's going to affect others. On this metaphoric mountain that you're climbing, that, like I said, there's a lot of snow up there, and if you go the same route, you could run into danger and avalanche. Like I said, things crumbling around you, on top of you. But you can go a different route. You know this, but it means that the ones you have with you can't follow you, whether it's because of their physical needs, their mental needs, their emotional, their spiritual needs, or it's the fact that they don't want to. Whoever this person is that you worry about when it comes to things is they could be emotionally immature. There could be a side to them that's not emotionally evolved. Maybe you look at this person, even though they're an older person, you still look at them with endearment, that there's that sentimental feelings. So it's a relationships that you have these sentimental feelings around that you're holding yourself back for. But the thing is, Virgo, what would you tell this person if they were in your shoes? Would you tell them to hold themselves back for you? Or would you tell them to go, complete the mission, get to where you need to be? That's something too. That is something there. Page of Cups to the Magician. So back in the day, something that really inspired you was wanting to help others. Maybe help others get out of certain kind of situations, certain kind of conflicts. Maybe you became some kind of person who like mediates or advocates, mediates or advocates for others. Maybe here in this situation, you mediate and advocate for your team members. It could be family members. It could be, different areas of where you're at. But this is something that is very driven for you since you were younger. This is something you have a lot of passions in trying to build stability, give others stability too, whether it's in the workplace or the home place. But this thing is you want to help people who are literally vulnerable, who don't even have a shirt on their own back kind of thing. But where you're at, it's not working. Where you're at could be, what I'm hearing to say is corruption. This is really hard. This is a hard situation. It's taken a lot of work to keep the different devils at bay. Even though the devil card ain't here, this magician, one more turn and this magician's in reverse and they become a corrupt person as well. So it took a lot to keep the different devils at bay, to keep your head moving forward in what you needed to do, opposed to giving into these devil's illusions wherever this person, place, family, community is at. Oh my goodness gracious. It's a lot weighing in on your shoulders. But you know what? I'm a person that didn't grow up in a great environment. And the reason why I say this is it's really, when I make tough choices, when I finally get pushed to a point where I say, I can't take any more of this, then I want to bring in logic. I want to look at the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is, and this is really not trying to put out any abandonment issues I have, but through past experiences in my life with certain family and stuff like that, is I learned how easily I could be replaced. I learned how easily replacing me more than once could be. How I was replaceable, how I wasn't what I deemed the most important thing that keeps everything together. I know that's kind of weird, right? I mean, when I was younger, I always took it on the shadow side. But as I grew older, I've taken it into the light. And when it comes down to these harsh environments where we're at, where we want to be the support system for everyone that's in the trenches with us, a lot of times you have to figure things out for yourself too, because those people who are in the trenches with you, they have their choices that they can make too. And when you care a lot about things, it's hard to say goodbye because there's a sense of you abandoning them. But the thing is, once you go, you're replaced. There's somebody else that's gonna come in. There's somebody else who's gonna have to do this stuff, and there's somebody else who's gonna have to deal with the things that you dealt with. A lot of times we think that these certain places, these certain people and stuff like that happen to us, to help us fail. But it's not. It's to help us succeed. It's to help us find different routes to success. It's to help align us where we're meant to go. Even if it's rerouting, redirecting, or even taking us on a detour. Just know that. At the end of the day, you're worried about these others, but what would be the advice you would give these others? Would you tell them to stay and to put up with everything, to sacrifice themselves for these others? Or would you tell them to lead the way? Be that inspiration that shows others they can do something different. Ooh, this is a good story. It's brought a little tear to my eye too. All right, so let's continue. Let's call in divine, and universal energy. What is it that needs to come in for the Virgo community? I like that because we have the facade card come out right away. Onto that 3 of Wands. Remember, I told you, really taking a look at things. All right, and any other ones? No. Okay. So this is actually really fitting. Remember, I told you there's some quest that you're going on. You're confused about it. This is something that you've been shying away from, but it's also time to start putting it out there. Start communicating about it. Definitely. It's not time to isolate yourself off when it comes to things, because right now the result of you isolating yourself off is you being hard on yourself, because whatever facade that you had created in your mind is not working out the way that you were hoping when it came to this person, place, and or things. Like I said, everything's crumbling and it's out of your control. And that's okay, because we have the solar plexus card talking about motivation. Maybe this is going to give you the motivation to do something different, to help others see things differently. And when it comes to creating this movement, we really got to get rooted in what it is. What is our core values? What is the core thing that we're working for? And understanding that sometimes it reshapes, it remolds itself, it brings us to different places in our lives to help us write new chapters. Just know that even though you're feeling very insecure about this, maybe going within and finding where your core is at with beliefs and stuff is something that's really going to be beneficial for you. So something that was really beautiful is having faith. Definitely having faith. When you're reflecting back into things, remember how much you have overcame. Remember the times that you wouldn't give in to corruption. You didn't give in to the shortcuts. You kept going. You kept following that intuition. You kept following that higher up vibrations and how you went about things. Remember that. See that clearly about yourself, and how you can use that to start empowering your intuition now for the decisions that you need to make. Something you're not seeing, you're at odds ends with, this is destined. It is destined for you to be brought to such a place to where you figure out if you're going to stay down on your knees begging these corrupt people to give you what you want, or even just to stay there in the trenches, or are you finally going to balance things out and reach for different things and be able to stand up? Are you going to be able to let divine give its hand out to you, so to say, so that you can get up out of these trenches, understanding that in order to appreciate the light, first Sometimes we gotta be stuck in the dark with things. And last card here is gratitude. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. You know, there could be something here that could be very triggering that reminds you of a past situation, and now it's repeating again. How did that past situation move you into your beliefs, into the way that you want to go, into the purpose that you want to have? How can we give gratitude that what has happened in the past helped us birth something new, especially when it came to our intuition, especially when it came to us trying to find stability, maybe even building stability for others, kind of thing. How can we use that gratitude to be thankful for the situation that we're in now, no matter how uncomfortable it is, because it's going to help you move. It's going to help you see. It's going to help you have a renewal so that you can make those moves that you need to make so you can get to that destiny. That destiny where you will find, where is it? Where you will find and realize that you are much stronger than you know. And being out in the cold was something that didn't come about to punish you. Yes, it created you being stuck. Yes, it made you stuck in your head with a lot of things, but it was all these things that were out of your control. These foundations that were crumbling around you that made you have the realizations and epiphanies that, hey, I need to speak up. I need to do something different. And I need to go. Get to where I'm supposed to be, where I'm guided to be in this lifetime, on this journey, during this phase. Oh my goodness gracious, what a beautiful story. This is very inspiring, and it's hard what you're going through. It's hard to have this weigh so heavily on your shoulders, Virgo, and I feel like you really don't know who you can talk to about this. You know, going within, and I'm hearing to tell you journaling out. Journaling out. Write down everything that you feel. Get it out in the open. Everything that's grinding your gears. And then after that, what I like to do personally, because I'm this type of personality, is I will make a pros and a cons list. Pros for all the things that are great about this stuff, that makes me feel good, that makes me feel appreciated, that makes me feel valued, versus the cons. Everything I have to sacrifice, all the things that make me feel like without, the things that diminish my energy. And then I evaluate them. And if that cons list outweighs the pros list, deuce, deuce, it's time for me to go. I have served my purpose here, and now it's time for my lesson to these others is, hey, I love me, and I got to get to where I'm meant to be. Alrighty. This is going to conclude it, Virgo community. Thank you so much for your time, your energy, and your patience. And as always, I hope that you have a most wonderful rest of your day. And don't forget to give thanks to your ancestors, spirit guides, angels of protection, divine and universal energy, because they was right here, right now, protecting all these messages for you so that you could get them. Until next time, Virgo, take care.